Clay, you're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. And as they say in Stoic, the obstacle is the way. And so if you let these pinheads get in your way, you're in trouble. Acta non verba is the motto of the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy at Kings Point, New York. I had appointments to Naval Academy and Kings Point Merchant Marine Academy. And Merchant Marine Academy's motto was acta non verba. In other words, don't listen to what a person says. Watch what they do. Clay, my honor to be on your show. And thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? People rave about what they learn from you. So congratulations.
My name is Kevin Thomas, and the name of our company is MultiClean. We are a commercial janitorial service, and we serve the entire state of Oklahoma and Kansas and soon to be Arkansas. We have probably grown probably 5 times. We've added, I think when we first started with you, we had 60 to 65 employees. And now we have a little over 300 employees. Before we got involved with Thrive Time, we didn't really have any systems or processes in place. So I've probably been to, in 6-7 years, I've probably been to 12 to 13 business conferences. And amazingly, each time I go, I learn something new, and I'm so excited to bring it back and show the team about marketing and how to implement, how to help you guys implement the SEO. And the coaching is just great because there's accountability, and it's just a fantastic way to grow your company. Having a relationship with Thrive Time it's just been amazing for MultiClean. Oh my goodness, it frees me up because then I don't have to take a class on search engine optimization or learn marketing or shoot video. That's not what we do. What we do is commercial janitorial service. And you guys are the experts on marketing, and you teach me and hold my hand and show me how to do it right. And therefore, now my company is much, much larger.
Folks, on today's show, we're joined by a real client. He may look like a male model. He may look like a hologram, but he's a real person. He's a longtime client. He's a man that we consider to be a friend of the Thrive Time Show and a friend of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Kevin. Welcome onto the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
Clay, I'm doing great. Had a great Christmas holiday, and I'm glad to be here.
Okay, so first question, can you tell us what is your name, first and last name, and what's the name of your company, sir?
My name is Kevin Thomas, and the name of our company is MultiClean. We are a commercial janitorial service, and we serve the entire state of Oklahoma and Kansas and soon to be Arkansas.
And how long have we worked with you approximately at this point, sir?
It's been about 6-7 years.
Every morning at 3 a.m. because that's when I start my grind. Yeah, and I got no time for slumbering and chit chat talk with a fake friend. I'm on my grind, yeah. I'm on my grind. You need to drive. I'm on my grind.
And we want to welcome all of His Glory Nation from east to west to north to south. Welcome to today's Kingdom Business Builder with Clay Clark. First couple quick announcements. One, Chronology, my go-to every night. Buy one, get one free, get the second one. Buy one, get the second one free. Free shipping. This stuff is the best of the best. I use it every night. Also, you can get the Cowboy Up. It's the Pat brand of this. It works for animals incredibly well. Boaz, our bull, absolutely. It's running in the fields of Texas. I'll be back to see Boaz in about 3 days. So we're heading off back to our other studio in Texas very soon. All right, prayer requests. Would you like to share a prayer request with us? His Glory has a dedicated team ready to lift up your needs. It's easy to submit your request confidentially. hisglory.me/ask-for-prayer. We believe in power prayer and are here to stand with you. Last update, Billion Soul donation. With any reoccurring donation of $30 or more, you get the book, All for His Glory. Also register a trip to win our trip to Footprints of Paul in Greece next year, or our trip to Israel. That will be next year. Remember, we were going to Israel. General Flynn was my personal guest before October 7th happened, but we will be back to see our friends in Israel very soon. And there he is, Clay. Welcome back.
Greetings, Dave. How are you, sir?
I'm wonderful.
Dave, on today's show, what I want to walk everybody out there through, if you're watching today's show, we're talking about how to get the golden look. Someone says, what's the golden look? Dr. Zellner, who, if anybody looks him up online, it's Dr. Zellner, Zoellner. Dr. Zellner has been a longtime mentor of mine. He often co-hosts on the show with me. He's Oklahoma's most successful optometrist. He runs Oklahoma's largest auto auction. He built a very successful bank, Region Bank. I can go on and on listing the business accolades of Dr. Zellner, but I can tell you he started from the bottom. He started as a dishwasher at Chiquita O'Brien's. That's a real story. He was a dishwasher at Chiquita O'Brien's, the Mexican food restaurant, and he built a very successful business empire. And he was my wife's first full-time boss. So when my wife got a job while attending Oral Roberts University, her boss was Dr. Robert Zellner. And I dared to ask him if he could mentor me or teach me or impart to me words of wisdom as I was struggling to build my company, DJ Connection. So pre-Christ, folks, this story is pre-Christ. I was struggling to build my disc jockey service, djconnection.com, which went on to become America's largest wedding entertainment company. But as I was struggling to grow it, I was working at Applebee's, Target, and DirecTV. So many of these mentor moments really were forever seared in my mind. And I filled up my notepad and I took notes. And so I'm going to read you a quote from Dr. Zellner. He once told me. This is a quote from Dr. Z. He said, "The goal of marketing is to earn the golden look of your ideal and likely buyer." Let me just share that again. The goal of marketing is to earn the goal of marketing is to earn the golden look of your ideal and likely buyer. Basically, Dave, you're trying to earn a tryout. And Dave, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about college football, but you know college football. You played college football. You played football at a high level. If you're a highly skilled high school athlete coming out of college or coming out of high school and you want to play for a Division I college, how difficult is it for a skilled high school athlete to get a tryout at Ohio State or to get an opportunity to make the team at Ohio State? How difficult is that?
It is very difficult. You're the elite of the elite of the elite. Just to be a backup or a third stringer at Ohio State, Michigan, or wherever, only the elite get to that level.
Now think about this. Steve Martin, the legendary comedian, Steve Martin. And by the way, if Steve Martin ever says anything that goes against the Bible, go with the Bible. But Steve Martin, he wrote The Father of the Bride. He wrote The Jerk. He's a legendary comedian. He's famous for talking about being a wild and crazy guy. Steve Martin said, "You want to be so great that people can't ignore you." And the follow-up question people always ask is, how do you know if you're great? He says, "Oh, you'll know." So for everybody else out there, myself included, if we're not spectacular as far as being an athlete, or we're not a supernatural talent in a certain area, we're not super gifted, we're not super talented, we own a business or we want to, or if you're watching today's show and you have a job and you want to get promoted, I'm telling you moves. These moves will help you get promoted, and these jobs will help you sell more products to your ideal and likely buyers. So everybody put your thinking caps on, take notes. It's how do we get the golden look? So step number one, you got to be willing to do whatever it takes. Okay, Dave Ramsey, a best-selling author, financial guru, talk show host, he said, if you will live like no one else, later you can live like no one else. I repeat, if you will live like no one else, later you can live like no one else. So Dave, when you were starting His Glory, and again, I know you started His Glory for His glory. You didn't start His Glory for your glory. But when you started His Glory for His glory, how scrappy was it? Like, how scrappy was the startup of His Glory?
Very scrappy. Put it in savings that my entire life savings in the corporate world went into His Glory. So every penny mattered. Every penny mattered. And again, I'll just tell you my story. I was building djconnection.com. I'm working at Applebee's, Target, DirecTV. My wife is working for Dr. Zellner. And we're working for the best wages we can earn. But, in 1999, it was like $10 an hour. Okay. Then my wife's working at Office Depot. And we had one car. We sold our car, so we had one car. We lived at 6714 South Lewis. So we lived at the Fountain Crest apartment complex. No air conditioning, no heat. I'm not exaggerating. No air conditioning, no heat. We lived in a bungalow apartment. We had one bedroom there, and that's where we lived. I had a mini storage at 96th and Riverside in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I had a mini
storage, and that's where I stored my equipment, was in the mini storage. I met every single customer, every single potential bride-to-be, every bride-to-be that was looking to hire my wedding entertainment service. I met all of them at Panera Bread. This is a true story. My wife, Dave, she would, every morning she'd say, honey, I got to go to ORU, then I got to go to Office Depot, then I go to Dr. Zellner, because she had multiple jobs. So she said, I'm going to drop you off at Panera Bread for your first appointment. So I'll drop you off there. They open up at 7. I'll drop you off there, and then I'll pick you up, at the end of cheer practice, because she was a cheerleader there, at the end of, working at Office Depot, at the end of working at Dr. Zellner's, I'll pick you up. And so from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m., most days I lived at Panera Bread. And Fareed Hussein was the guy who was the assistant manager, and Shelly was the manager. She had short blonde hair, and Fareed was a guy, kind of a stocky guy. And I got to a point, Dave, when I would walk into Panera Bread, they would hop on the microphone where they're supposed to announce your order, and Fareed would say, ladies and gentlemen, Clay Clark is here. And when I would leave, he'd say, ladies and gentlemen, Clay Clark has left the building. Because I was there all day. And Shelly told me, she said, I'm going to kick you out of here if you don't eventually buy something. I said, okay. So I got on a rotation where I found if I bought something every 60 minutes, she would not kick me out. And that's what I did. And Dave, I share that story with somebody watching today's show because I don't want you to feel humiliated or discouraged or less than, or like you don't have what it takes. You just have to be willing to do whatever it takes. So that's step one. If you want to get the golden look, if you want to get promoted in the job you have, or you want to earn the business from your potential customer, be the plumber who's willing to do a free quote. Be the home builder who's willing to do the free quote, the 3D rendering. Be the attorney that will do the first hour for free. Be the dentist that will do the first whitening service for free, the first checkup for free. Be the haircut chain that'll do $1 for the first haircut. Come up with some kind of no-brainer that is so hot, so good. Walk up to your boss. Dave, if somebody came up to you today in the context of, let's say, corporate America, when you worked in corporate America, and let's say somebody who you managed came up to you and said, Dave, can I beat you to work every day and help you for free? How would you respond to that if that ever happened? Maybe it did happen, but how would you respond if somebody who worked underneath you said, hey, I'm going to come to work before you every day. I'll get there. I'll be there when you get there, and I'm willing to work for free to help you. What would you say?
I would say yes, and that actually did happen. And I used to use those skill sets to get up the corporate ladder. It's kind of the book, Selling DeVito, I mentioned to you before. That was one of his practices.
So these are all super moves that work, folks. And I love talking to Dave about this each and every week, because if you're watching his glory, we want you to make a big impact in your community. And that starts at the workplace. That starts with your customers. And one way to give more, to be more, to sow more seeds into ministry is to make more money with your business. Okay. Step number 2, if you're taking notes, this is how to get the golden look. You have to deliver a wow moment. You have to deliver a wow moment. You just can't. So when you go to thrivetimeshow.com, if your producer can pull that up potentially, if you go to thrivetimeshow.com, we have this workshop coming up featuring Eric Trump. It's going to feature Julie Green. It's going to feature yourself, Dave Scarlett. It's going to feature so many wonderful people that people have met through the Reawaken America tour, and also people that people haven't met from the Reawaken tour. But do I have to do helicopter rides? No, but I choose to. Do I have to do llamas? No, but I choose to. Do I have to have alpaca? No, but I choose to. Do I have to have a mariachi band? No, but I choose to. Do I have to have ice sculptures? No, but I choose to. Do I have to have constant entertainment and a live band? No, but I choose to. And Dave, that's why for 20 years, our business workshops keep people fired up. So when you go to thrivetimeshow.com, and you request tickets September 25 and 26, as of right now, we have 9 tickets left, September 25 and 26. This is Eric Trump, Mel Team America. You can get your tickets at thrivetimeshow.com. But Dave, I don't have to put in a wow moment, but I choose to. And I'll read you a notable quotable from Napoleon Hill. He said, render more service than for which you're paid, and eventually you'll be paid more for fewer services rendered. So if you're a home remodeler and you quote a customer $4,000 to fix their, let's say, tile, get the job done for $3,900. If you tell the customer, Dave, you'll have the project done by Wednesday, get it done on Tuesday. So come on, get it done early and get it done under budget. Write that down, somebody. Get it done early, get it done under budget. If you work in the job, stay early, stay late. If you exceed people's expectations, you will absolutely find yourself getting promoted, getting celebrated. And again, how do you do that? There's 3 ways: speed, quality and attention to detail. So if you're out there today and you say, man, I want to get promoted, I want to get uplifted, Dave, I want to become a boss in my workplace, you have to find a way to wow your boss or to wow your customer. And by default, Dave, we won't do it. I want to get your thoughts on this because, again, you climbed to you rose to the highest levels in corporate America. How important is it in corporate America or small business or any area of the workplace to wow your boss or your customer?
Oh, it's incredibly important. I would never have gotten to the level of a director of 3 Fortune 100 companies without putting these best practices in place earlier in my career. These corporations didn't teach me this. I had to go out and find it and learn it from coaches and mentors.
Parasites are real. I can prove parasites are real. I know they're out in the world today. Now we have known parasitic diseases like MS. That's why I recommend Purge Advanced Parasite Cleanse.
Purge, crafted with an all-natural blend of 19 powerful ingredients, designed to target and eliminate every type of parasite inside the human body, from hidden invaders causing fatigue to those impacting your overall well-being. Join thousands of users who've already transformed their health, experiencing incredible energy and a renewed sense of well-being.
But what if I told you that cancer, acne rosacea, multiple sclerosis, and rheumatoid arthritis, 4 different diseases in 4 different areas of medicine, what if they can all be treated with parasite medication?
Get yours now at www.purgestore.com/hisglory or scan the QR code on your screen and get 15% off with the code HISGLORY.
Block Trust IRA, designed to help your cryptocurrency investments thrive and receive up to $2,500 in funding bonuses. The experts in accelerating wealth retirement.
Most insurance agencies hand you a policy and disappear. Robertson Ryan protects over 70,000 families and businesses with real partnership, not paperwork. Visit hisglory.me/partners and experience the difference.
Now, step number 3, you got to embrace, there's the 3 phases of super success. Now, there's books written about this where people say there's 50 phases, there's 10 phases. We'll just focus on the 3. And you say, well, Clay, where are you getting these 3 phases from? Well, I paid Michael Levine $25,000. What? I paid Michael Levine $25,000 to teach me this and some other things, okay? Who's Michael Levine? He was the PR consultant for Pizza Hut, for Nike, for Charlton Heston, for Prince, the musician, for Michael Jackson. Come on. Charlton Heston, are you serious? George Carlin, the comedian. And I thought, you know what? I don't know everything there is to know about public relations and marketing, so I'm going to hire this guy. So I called him up. I read his book. He's a New York Times bestselling author multiple times. I said, sir, I would love to pick your brain. I got a hold through the secretary. He got on the phone with him. I'd love to pick your brain to teach me marketing. And it turned out he didn't want to teach me marketing for free. But he said for $25,000, I could spend 3 hours with him. It's a true story. And I'm like, where? He said, Santa Monica. That's where I live, Santa Monica, California. So I paid $25,000 and I flew out there. My wife was with me. I brought my books. I brought my notepad and I was taking copious amounts of notes. And I just asked him, I said, sir, you're dyslexic. Your father was an alcoholic. How did you become the world's top PR guy? You're dyslexic. How did you become a best-selling author? You can't even read. How did that happen? That's the questions I asked him. He said, Clay, there's 3 phases to super success. And I said, okay, I'm taking notes, sir. This is what he says. Step number 1, you want to work below the market rate. So if you can't find a job right now, cold call His Glory. Call him up today. Dave, I know you guys are hiring right now. And say, look, I want to be an asset to His Glory. I'm willing to sell advertisements for free. I'm willing to call people for free. I'm willing to volunteer for free. Call your church and say, I'm willing to work for free. Call your local business and say, I'm willing to work for free. Call my business. Anybody out there who says, I'm willing to work for free, it's sort of a hard thing to say no to. So step number 1, if you can't get in the door, be willing to work under market rate. That's what Michael Levine did. He called up the world's top celebrities and said, I'll do your public relations for free. The true story. He did that for free. By the way, I just interviewed the founder of Hobby Lobby. He told me it took him 5 years before Hobby Lobby was ever profitable. 5 years. He said he had a full-time job and a full-time Hobby Lobby job. He had a full-time job and he was starting Hobby Lobby. And David Green told me on my show, which by the way, I can't release until October 14th, but he said that he had to work without compensation. He had a job, but all of the money went into building Hobby Lobby for 5 years. 5 years. So that this phase could take a while. Step number two, you want to work at the market rate. So my lead web developer, this guy volunteered to work for free. He volunteered to work for free. I wasn't hiring. He volunteered to work for free. And then eventually somebody, decided to move on, and I hired him to fill that spot. And now he's working at market rate. So he's getting paid immensely more than he used to get paid because he got paid nothing. He had a full-time job, and he said, Clay Clark, I know you're not hiring, but can I work for free? He was a longtime listener to our podcast. He called me up and said, I have a full-time job. I can come work for you for free. I said, okay. I wasn't hiring, but I hired him. And then when one of our two people left, he filled the spot. Now, step number 3, this is big. Then you get to work above market rate. All right. So another way to look at it is phase number 1 is gain practical education. Phase number 2, build a reputation. And phase number 3, increase your compensation. So let's go back to this. When you go to thrivetimeshow.com and you attend one of our workshops, why is it that people want to see Eric Trump in person? Why? Why is it that people want to see Eric Trump in person? Why is it that people are so excited to see Julie Green in person? Why? What is it? I'll tell you this. I'm going to brag on Julie Green, and I'm going to speak nicely about her behind her back. Julie is so faithful, so consistent, so kind, so diligent, so intentional about seeking Christ. So when you go to the Julie Green Rumble channel, you're going to find her faithfully putting out content. I mean, she's just very, very consistent. She joins the His Glory show here on a weekly basis, and people have developed, they've understood, they've gotten to know her. People know, wow, this woman is consistent, and God blesses the hand of the diligent, and he punishes the hand of the slacker. Proverbs 10:4. When people see you being consistent and doing well with the small thing, people will promote you to the big thing. So again, step number 1, you got to get that practical education. Step number 2, you build that reputation. And step number 3, that's when you get a compensation or a following, or maybe somebody cheers, or someone says thank you, or maybe that's when you get paid, or you get a tip, or maybe there's some kind of certificate of appreciation, aka money that's thrown your way. And that is the process. Now, the final step here is you got to upgrade your network. Jim Rohn, who couldn't be here on today's show because he's no longer with us, he's with Team Jesus now up in heaven. He says, you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And Dave, you see it, I see it. I've met so many people who've told me, they said, Clay, I came to the Reawaken Tour, and my entire social circle changed. In the case of Jackson Lane, he met his wife at the Reawaken America Tour. In the case of John Richardson, this man met his wife at the Reawaken America Tour. In the case, I have so many couples that met at the Reawaken America Tour. But you hanging out in your mom's basement, hiding from the world, that's not a good way to change your destination. If you're out there watching today's show and you feel locked, you feel stuck, Dave, I know you believe in it. I believe in it too. The Bible tells us that a companion of fools shall suffer harm. That's in Proverbs. A companion of fools shall suffer harm. God wants you to surround yourself with people that have a high expectation, a high standard, people that are going places. Dave, you've been to many workshops, including the Thrive Time Show business workshops. Could you kind of explain maybe the level of energy or the level of enthusiasm that people can pick up on? Because we pack the house with real entrepreneurs.
It's off the chart. I mean, it's from 5:30 in the morning until the people leave. And those workshops, people don't want to leave. It's that much excitement. And even the breaks are fun because you get to meet people that are like-minded, and you learn some tips and trademarks and lots of great nuggets. This is a must for any business person.
I'm telling you, folks, if you go to thrivetimeshow.com, okay, and you use promo code His Glory, that gives you a chance to win a backstage pass. You use promo code His Glory, you have a chance to win a backstage pass. Also, you get a discount off of VIP tickets. And now that we're sitting here at 10 tickets remaining, we got a couple VIP tickets left, a few general admission tickets left. And you might say, well, how big of a venue is it? The way I have constructed my venue and the way that I've designed it and built it is, Dave, I don't like to have more than about 600 people in a place and space when I'm doing a business workshop, because I want people to be able to ask questions. And so we're going to teach marketing, branding, search engine optimization, social media marketing, how to hire people, how to train people, how to build a linear workflow, how to build checklists and processes. And I find that when we do about 30 minutes of teaching and then we open it up for a 15-minute Q&A session, that's when it gets really fun. And Dave, I'm sure you've seen some of these questions are coming in hot. We do 30 minutes of teaching, and then 15 minutes of Q&A. And when people ask questions, I have the theory there are no bad students, there are just bad teachers. There are no bad students, there are just bad teachers. And so if I am teaching something and you don't get it, I don't want you to leave my conference feeling full of holes, like you don't understand what's going on. I want you to leave feeling whole. And so we really do intentionally answer each and every question at these workshops. And I think it adds a certain energy to it. Also, it makes it hilarious. I don't know, Dave, have you laughed at all at any of the business workshops? Because to me, that's where the great comedy comes in, is the Q&A session.
Every time.
Yeah. And so I just, if you're watching today's show, a quick recap, okay? If you're watching today's show and you have a job, or you're watching today's show and you own a business, this is how you get the golden look. This is how you get the tryout. This is how you earn that opportunity. Step number one, do whatever it takes. Be willing to do whatever it takes within the legal, ethical, biblical, whatever within the biblical worldview, whatever's legal and ethical within the biblical mind. Sometimes things are legal, but they're not biblical. Go with the Bible. Do what the Bible says within that biblical worldview. Do whatever it takes. Step number two, determine you're going to wow people. Just say, I'm going to wow my boss. I'm going to wow my customer. I'm going to greet that next customer with incredible enthusiasm. I'm going to show up to work and beat my boss every day. Step number three, embrace the 3 steps, the process of building practical education, building a reputation, and then exchanging that for compensation. And then step 4, you got to increase your network if you want to increase your net worth. And with 15 seconds on the clock, Dave, I throw it back to you.
Yeah, you got to be there. These are one-in-a-lifetime events. I mean, it takes you from A to Z, everything you need to know to start, run, and exceed in business. We'll see you in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy.
I ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
4,000% from February to February. Now I can better that. Okay, Clay, I don't think you know this. I'm pinching myself, and if I cry, forgive me. In the last 2.5 days, we have bettered our entire month of February. In the last 2.5 days. So, and the phone's blowing up. Everything's just blowing up. You're right. It is like a rocket ship. So we're pinching ourselves, actually.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
But I recognized at the age of 15, I'm going, you know what? I am not going to live that way. And so I started a company out of my parents' basement called djconnection.com. And I decided I am going to have success. And so I reached out to millionaires and people that I kind of knew through church and friendships and parents of my friends. And I said, what book would you recommend that I read? I'm a 15-year-old asking this question. True story. And I kept being told, you got to read.
Hello, Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Radio Show. It's an exciting time. Also, I think a treacherous time, a spooky time also. But it's always, danger is a good time. Today, my guest is Clay Clark, and I went out with Tom Wheelwright to visit Clay with Eric Trump also. And the reason I want to talk to Clay this morning is a very important subject called study. And the reason I say that is things are changing so fast, and many people are completely missing the show. Things are changing at rapid speed. Technology is changing. And so I went to Tulsa, again, with Tom Wheelwright and Eric Trump. And the thing I was so impressed about Clay is this word called study. I don't know, you guys must be in your water or something, Clay, but boy, I was so impressed how big you guys are. But what really impressed me was you have this huge congregation. They're all about guys your age. They're on fire. And you start your classes at 5 a.m. Now, let me talk to you about study here. We show our books here. Now, this is how I study. This is the creature from Jekyll Island. It's on the Fed. And Clay's doing the same thing. We study. So I go out to Clay's place in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's built this huge compound out there. And you guys start at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's not by Zoom. They drive there. They show up 5 o'clock, bright-haired, bushy-tailed, and all this. And they're on fire. Your group is on fire. So that's what was on Clay, this technology you tell your group. I was so impressed because, like I said, studies became a bad word. I got into fights in my own company because our staff didn't want to study anymore. And I don't know how they cannot do that. So Clay, anyway, welcome to the Rich Dad Radio Show. That's what I want to talk to you about is how do you do it? 5 o'clock in the morning, you have hundreds of people showing up in your huge auditorium on your property to study. Anyway, welcome to the show, Clay, and what turns you on so much? That's what I want to know. Give us a little about your background.
Karime Schofield, and the name of our company is Whistle While You Clean.
I am Sophia Schofield.
We live in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we service the tri-state, so Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana.
We were getting a phone call, and we were like, why is someone calling our business line? That's unusual, and we picked it up, and it was a lead.
I mean, it's been incredible, Clay. We've gone from 0 to like 100% growth. Like we're like a full functioning company. It's great. Like we're blown away at how well we're doing. So working with you guys have really taught us a lot about generating leads and pursuing our Dream 100. So we have a list of customers that we want to market to. And so we've been making phone calls, we've been showing up in person. We're trying to get near the businesses that they would visit if they were visiting like a hair salon or something. And then we start calling them and we just start pursuing them. And then the other thing that we do is when we do cleans, we take a lot of video testimonials and we post those to our website so other customers can see. And then we also upload a lot of images of the things that we do. And so we're also asking our clients for Google reviews after we've cleaned their houses. And so it's this constant like cycle of doing those things over and over and over again. I would say if you're on the fence, go to one of Clay's conferences. They are hilarious. They're fun. They're educational. They're so good that even my teenagers like them. And I would say don't let fear hold you back. If you want to start a business, do the obvious thing and hire someone who knows how to run businesses. If I wanted to get in shape, I'd hire a gym person, a personal trainer. This is like the personal training for business. It has been absolutely amazing. I mean, our coach is encouraging. When he first met with us, he said, do we want him to be like a drill sergeant with us? What level of intensity do we want him to give us? And I will say he is incredibly encouraging all the time. And he just hits the same mark with us every single time. It's very repetitive. But I think we both really learn a lot every time we sit down and have a conversation with him over the phone. He keeps pushing us to go further, and he can recognize when we're afraid to do something and he'll give us a little bit of grace, but that next week he's drilling us again, like pushing us to go harder. Our no-brainer offer is we are offering your first clean for $1. And that sounds absolutely insane. It even sounded insane when I was talking over it with our business coach. And I will tell you that has generated some of our hugest clients. I mean, that has been like a game changer because it opened up the door to more clients, more recommendations, more leads. And we were surprised how far that dollar clean got us.
How important has it been for you to work out that scripting, even though you offer $1 for the first clean? How important has it been for you to nail that down?
It's been really important because it kind of it hones in so that you're not just all over the place when you're trying to explain what it is that you do. And a lot of times it's like you're a good person offering a good product and you have integrity and you want to communicate that. But when you go to communicate without a script or without practice, it's just like a mess coming out of your mouth, as opposed to having this, honed in practice where you know what you're going to say, you know how you're going to say it, and you can almost expect better results when you do it that way.
Had you ever been an entrepreneur before starting this particular business?
No, never.
Did you ever think about wanting to own your own business someday, or what was the first time you thought, maybe I would like to open my own business?
Absolutely. I've probably been dreaming about it for about 10 years.
Okay, and let me go to your daughter here. Had you ever thought about wanting to team up and open your own business, or was that something that you were maybe excited about, or not so much?
Well, for me, my parents would always listen to your podcast and business podcast. And as I started listening to them, I started realizing that I wanted to own a business.
It's www.whistlewhileyouclean.com. Honestly, the hardest thing was getting over the fear. It was the fear of the unknown. There was like a cloud of doubt that, you can't do this, you're gonna fail. There was a few sleepless nights there when we did pull the trigger and join your team and start the coaching process. Even my husband put a little bit of pressure on me from time to time because it was just absolutely scary to take that jump and actually start a business.
Whoa.